world and a few clips that we're going to react to. Let's go ahead and get into it. Dane is back. Dane, did you catch any deer with your bow and arrow?
No deer have been caught. I've been seeing some, and I've had some close encounters, but have decided to be merciful and let them go. Looking for something a little more bigger.
Oh, so you're not supposed to get them unless they're a certain size, right?
Well, no, I'm being picky. I had 4 bucks all coming together. They're still kind of bachelored up right now. A couple nights ago, and had them well inside of range, but they were kind of on the edge of what I would call a mature deer. So they were guys that know whitetails. They were probably about 120, 130 inch. 8 points, the 2 biggest ones. The other 2 were a little bit smaller than that. Yeah, ended up letting them walk on through. And then last night I had another encounter with another buck about the same size, different property, and let him walk as well. So I know that there's bigger, better deer where I'm hunting. Yeah, so kind of waiting for one of those. It'll probably be later in the year before those guys start showing their face in the daytime.
All right. Well, I wish you luck because deer are delicious.
Yes.
But let's get to this story. This is a story. This is the former host of Top Gear, Jeremy Clarkson, and he has said he thinks that new cars are SHIT. I can't even say the word that he said because this is a family show. But let's look at this. He was being interviewed. This is what he said.
After 35 years, do I still have the same love for cars? No. Honestly, no. They're all now. That genuinely, I look at, well, not all, but what am I going to say? I guess we're all in the same boat on this. 80% of them now, 90%, I couldn't even identify them. I don't know what they are. I don't care. And they go, we've got a new hybrid drive system. I just couldn't give a shit. But the old stuff, driving here and that tonight.
How dare I? I want to break it up so just in case they try to get me on copyright. But I totally don't agree with that. I think he likes cars that are light, but let's let him finish.
There's a fantastic road. Anyone here know who I mean by Harry Metcalf? Okay, so Harry uses this road very close to here for all of his tests, and it's my route from home to here. And I was driving that, and it's amazing when you drive an old car like that, how much better they are than modern cars because they're so light. It's like driving a ballet dancer. I don't mean that, but you know what I mean? It's a really, really epic thing to drive.
All right.
So what do you think, MJ?
I think he is totally wrong about that. I don't know. Well, he said he thinks they're light, but to me, I don't want a car that's that light because in an accident, you're gonna be destroyed. You're gonna be no longer alive.
Sure. I'm with him 100%.
What?
And yeah, and I'll go into depth on why, and I'm sure he would agree with what I'm about to say. Older cars make you feel alive. New cars make you feel comfortable. And the older cars, as far as the driving experience goes, especially when you're talking about a lightweight car that's naturally aspirated, manual transmission, no nannies, minimal safety equipment, no ABS, they are just exhilarating to drive. It's a much more connected feel with the vehicle, the road. It's just exciting to drive. New cars, you get into them, they're comfortable, they're boring, they're just meh. They're just, if you want day-to-day transportation, sure, get a new car. It's going to be reliable. It's going to do whatever. But if you want excitement to drive, what he's talking about is the way to go.
No way, man. Look, I understand what he's saying about cars being lighter. There are still some light cars. I mean, the Mazda Miata, the Toyota A86, the Subaru version of it. I mean, those cars are pretty light. I mean, I like these cars make you feel alive, but don't you want to stay alive?
No, there's enjoyment, there's enjoyment in risk, right? If you didn't almost die, what fun would it be?
That is insane. How could you say that? Didn't you like this new the Corvette ZR1? What about that?
I do, but I like it for how raw it is. because
Yeah.
it's, even though it's got all that new modern technology, it's still a raw driving experience. But remember, he's talking about the majority of your new cars, your new sedans, your daily transportation, not the newest and greatest sports cars. And even then, sometimes those cars are boring. You take a brand new Porsche 911 versus an old air-cooled 911. Some would argue that air-cooled 911 is more fun to drive, even though it's a slower car, just because it's that raw experience, not not a car that's so fast and has so much electronics that it's just easy to go fast in. It doesn't feel as exhilarating.
Dane, I don't know
We're
what to
working
do.
on we're working on emotions here, not so much the most practical thing for your life. It's a definite
what?
emotional experience.
You know what I think he said that? I think he's getting burned out. I think he's burned out from the automotive world. I mean, his whole life has been cars for a while. I got to admit, I went through that for a period of my life too. After I left Honda, or not, after I left Toyota, I was just like, it had been years and like over a decade, probably almost 2 decades, to where everything in my whole life was cars. I just needed a break. This guy, one of the teachers at Ford Technical Hotline, when I did my internship there, I remember him saying something like that. He's like, yeah, you know what, man, I just need to do something else for a little while. Like, I love cars and everything, but I need to go I need to go paint or something. Like, I need to go do drywall, just something else for a little while. I think once he just stays away from cars for a little while, I think he'll be back. Let's see. We got a comment here. Stanley Smith says he agrees. I think he agrees with you, Dane.
I would assume he does too. I mean, my opinion's right here.
I mean, I think the only thing really that's not as good in new cars is I think some of the powertrains, not all, but some of them are way more problematic. There are way more problems. The problems to fix are more expensive now. They're darn near impossible for you to fix yourself now. I know people used to say that 15 years ago, but now it's really true. Like, you don't want to be messing with that hybrid system. If you don't know what you're doing, you don't want to be messing with any electric vehicle cables. Like, I'm in training right now to be able to work on these cars, and you better be careful or you're going to be done, because they can arc flash.
Oh yeah.
Like they could just you can't like spray like anything around them. Like, they don't want you spraying stuff. They don't want you back probing. They don't want you piercing them wires. You got to check the wires after you hit the manual service disconnect. This is a joke, but I kind of see what he's saying as far as driving experience, but everything else is just so much better. It's not even close. They're a million times safer than they used to be. They're way more fuel efficient. New cars, I think, are way better than old cars, but you know, he has his opinion. He has the right to his opinion.
Yeah, as for terms of, like you said, safety and reliability, new cars are better. New cars, even the cars that he might say aren't as fun to drive, are still going to be like faster. But he's talking about the emotional experience. And I know, like, his handful of cars in his personal collection, like what he drives day to day is usually like a Range Rover, right? Very cushy, very comfortable. But he's not driving that for the enjoyment. He's driving old Ferraris. He's driving old Porsches. He's driving stuff like that for the best driving experience.
All right. Well, Dane, here is a new car that I'm sure that you will love it. Look at this.
Hit me. Is that a 370 on like 36s that are floaters?
I don't know what kind of rims these are.
Yeah, it's like a Nissan 370. I don't know.
Yeah,
They look like floaters, though.
That's a 350, but yeah, well, because I could see them moving a little bit. So it is some kind of floating rim that doesn't look like it's moving.
Yeah, it looks like a floater. Yeah,
you've seen those before?
Oh yeah, remember when spinners were cool?
Yeah.
So it's a spinner, but they put a weight on the bottom of the spinner part so it doesn't spin, and so it just looks like the car's floating.
Oh, all right. All right, let me show you one other new car. It looks like the people around it don't like it. Let me see. Look at this. This is an autonomous car. This is some type of autonomous vehicle taxi.
Oh, there's nobody in the driver's seat. These guys are just critiquing it.
This guy's got his puppy in there.
What? I wonder what they're writing.
There's just some graffiti. I guess they don't like autonomous cars in these
Huh.
in California.
Yeah,
Because
not surprised.
I heard sometimes they'll put like a traffic cone like on the hood, which like freaks out the system and it just won't move.
Okay. So they're just messing with them.
They are being vandals. And
Yeah, but look, they're not doing it with like paint marker. It looks like it's that one that kind that washes off.
I don't know. I don't think that's going to wash off.
That's what it looks like. Yeah, because like I was at or drag racing last weekend, you know that. And so when they're writing numbers on the window so that way the tower knows what number that car is, they're using the same kind of marker. So they usually do that, and then you can wash it off later. So it looks like they're not destroying the car; they're just writing crap all over it and messing with them.
I don't know. These people, they like I don't know. I think they're upset at the autonomous car because they think it's taking away jobs from people who do Uber. But there's no excuse for that. And look, that guy and his little puppy are so upset. All right. Let's get to the next story. Dane has a story that he wants to share with us. Let me bring that up.
Yeah, so I found this. Well, this wasn't the newest news. It came out probably last weekend, but I wasn't able to join you last weekend. And yeah, more bad news for Stellantis. They're literally.
So I'll move it down, up and down if you want to see it.
Yeah, so we all know Stellantis is having troubles financially. Sales are down, way down, and to add more fuel to the fire, no pun intended here, they are doing a massive recall on all the Jeep EVs and hybrids for fire risk. They've had a handful of customers that have spontaneously combusted with 4xEs and the Cherokee hybrids, just lighting themselves on fire. So there's no fix yet. And what Stellantis is urging customers to do is park them away from buildings. So if you park here from the garage, do not park it away from your house, and also do not charge them to full. And they will come up with a solution in the meantime. Hold tight. So these customers with these cars are not happy. Obviously, this is going to cost them a bunch of money to try and fix. They don't know what the problem is. They need to still figure out what the problem is. Yeah, not great.
That's not good. So look, it says it is let's see, how many vehicles is this? Stellantis
just over 100
had a recall, had 154,032 plug-in hybrid Jeep Wrangler and Grand Cherokee models. Risk of fire hazards. Oh, goodness gracious. What are we going to do with you, Stellantis?
Yeah.
I heard they're trying to get their CEO fired.
Yeah, they're in some hot water. And then to, again, just keep adding to this, I think I sent you another article too. The stock for Stellantis is obviously not doing well, as a lot of stockholders are dumping their stocks, selling them off.
I would.
It's causing the stock to continue to go down because the buyer confidence isn't there with the company anymore. So things just are not looking good for Stellantis right now.
Oh boy. It said that they're still going to push ahead with making an all-electric Jeep priced at $25,000. I remember I did a story on that. I think that was like a rebadged car from Europe, and we'll see what happens with that. This is not really like a new Jeep, but we'll see. I don't know. I'm not confident in the CEO. It's not looking good. Not looking good for Stellantis.
Yeah, he's in a bad position right now.
And have an Amico Day channel said, I don't think Clarkson would say the 24 Mitsubishi Mirage is a bad car. Yeah, it's light. He wanted the cars to be so light, don't
he? Yeah, I think he's making a joke.
He's telling the truth.
Yeah,
he wanted them to be so darn light. I don't want a light car.
Yeah,
I don't feel safe in those.
You want that new Hummer EV, that one that weighs like 10,000 pounds?
I got to look into that one, but I did a story while you were gone about the
Mhm.
Tesla Cybertruck,
Mhm.
and that thing is coming through as like a good rescue vehicle. Like not even think of it as a truck, like what you're thinking of a Silverado.
Yeah.
This thing was rescuing people in the freaking hurricane.
Oh, was it?
Yeah, it's got this thing called wade mode
Mhm.
where it it lifts up. It used the air suspension to lift it up as high as possible, like 31 inches.
Oh, yep.
And it can get through water.
Okay.
And you could use it as like kind of how similar you would use a generator. So you could use it to power your house. So this guy was like, yeah, I got everybody else is out of electricity, but I'm powering my house with my Cybertruck. And his neighbors brought over their medicine to put in his refrigerator
Oh, nice.
because there's some medicine that has to be kept cold
Mhm.
in the refrigerator or it goes bad. I think maybe insulin is like that. I'm not sure, but
Okay.
so yeah, he was using it for that. And then I looked on their website and they have like the Cybertruck website. They have like a special attachment you could put on the top, like a option, and it makes a light, and it could fill up like 2 or 3 football fields worth of light.
That's a lot of light.
So that is like major. It's supposed to be for off road, but I'm thinking they could use that as like a rescue vehicle.
Mhm. Yeah, if they got enough range.
Yeah,
Definitely.
and yeah, so because he's like, well, people they're saying maybe a gas would be better for electric, but he's like, look, when all our power is out, the gas stations don't work either.
Right. No, they
So
don't. But neither do the power stations. So it's a matter of time before he runs out of battery too.
yeah, that's what I was saying. Like you got to make sure it's charged up all the way before the storm comes, and plus, if you're anywhere near salt water,
Yeah.
don't leave it in your house if you're going to like.
Yeah.
If you're going to just leave it and you're going to go to higher ground, you're not going to take it with you because the salt water will make it catch on fire.
Yeah, we've seen a handful of those, right? Where Tesla's caught on fire because they got flooded and then they burned the whole house down while it was flooded.
Yeah, so don't leave them in the house if you got to leave them behind.
Yeah, park them outside.
But that's true for any battery. They were saying the same for
Yep.
golf carts, battery operated golf carts. So that's probably true for all your battery operated lawn equipment, like your
lithium
battery
stuff,
blowers and stuff.
Definitely.
Yeah. All right. Well, let's go to the next story. Let me pull this up. Dane, while I'm pulling the story up, why don't you tell us about the race you went to?
Yeah, so I was on one guy's garage. They're the title sponsor of the drag weekend I was on last weekend. So for guys that are not familiar with drag and drive racing, it is a multi-day event, and the vehicle that you are drag racing, you need to drive to multiple tracks with no support. You have to drive it track to track. You cannot have it trailered. There's no extra support crew besides what you carry. So, and vehicle I was with, it wasn't mine. It was a friend and customer of mine. We were in a 99 Chevy Silverado. Two-wheel drive. It's been lowered. It's got a LS motor built for well over 1,000 horsepower. It's got a big 98 millimeter turbo on it. And so we drove down to Iowa where the race started. And so we made passes at Tri-State in Iowa. We then drove all the way to Great Lakes Raceway just north of Kenosha, Wisconsin. So a few hundred miles. We raced there that following day. We then, made passes. We were working a lot on the truck. We then drove to Byron Raceway, which is in central Illinois, made passes there. And then the same day that we drove to Byron, we also had to drive back to Iowa. And so the next morning in Iowa, we had then made passes there as well. So we worked on the truck a lot all weekend long. There was a lot of casualties along the way with other vehicles. Fortunately, we were able to make it to the final day. Made the truck faster and faster on that final day. Our fastest pass of the weekend ended up being our last pass of the weekend, going 9.7 seconds at 143 mile an hour. And as we crossed the finish line, we blew head gasket. And yeah, so
did you win that race where you blew the head gasket?
Yeah, no, we didn't win, but it gave us enough of a lead gave us enough of a gap to take second place.
Okay.
So, and that was in the tailgate class. So it's mostly just trucks. Any vehicle with tailgate could have been in that class.
All right. Well, that's cool. Now, I know somebody sent me in a video, Dane. I think this may have been, they think it might have been you actually in this
Okay.
video, but I don't know. Maybe this was after you lost the race with the other truck. Let's see.
Let's see it.
Is this you in the black Silverado? Dane?
It is not me. Oh man,
Dane.
what's he doing?
Holy!
That guy had places to be.
Dane.
Oh, I see. That car, they're having a fit. That guy was jaw jacking, wasn't he? The Mustang. Yeah.
Are you sure that wasn't you, Dane?
No, I'm pretty sure that wasn't me.
All right. Let's get to this next story. Story number 3. Toyota pushes back North American EV plans as demand weakens. Toyota pushing back on the EVs. This is a story from Car Scoops. So let's see what they have to say. Let's see. They were going to make a 3-row SUV at the Kentucky plant, but they told their suppliers they're tweaking the design for the new model, and that's going to be known as the BZ5X. The Subaru and Lexus branded version of Toyota's new electric SUV are reportedly in development. So right now they have the BZ4X, and we'll talk about that in a minute. But they're saying they're going to make a SUV again with Subaru and call it the BZ5X. So let's see what this article says. See, originally the company intended to debut a 3-row electric SUV from its Kentucky plant, but the timeline has shifted by several months. They already invested over $1 billion in the Kentucky facility for EV production, but it's not just the SUV that's facing changes. Reports suggest that the automaker has also scrapped plans to build electric Lexus SUVs in North America by 2030. Instead, these models will likely be imported from Japan. So it looks like they're still going to make it, but they have, yeah, they are. They're saying they don't estimate making as many. Toyota now expects to produce roughly 1 million EVs globally in 2026, so a couple of years from now, and that is down from the previously promised 1.5 million units. Let's see. So let's see. I think this is the Kentucky plant. That's where they make the Camry down there too. That's where all my Camrys came from. So for all the people out there who try to say, "Oh, American workers, I want my Toyota made in Japan. American workers don't know what they're doing." Yes, they do. Stop insulting American workers when all your Camrys, if you don't think the Camry is a good car, then you don't know what you're talking about, because they are made in Kentucky, and the Tundras is million-mile certified. And I saw the million-mile Tundra, and there's another one out there soon, also made in Texas. And all the Tacomas were made in Texas too until recently. Now some of them, now they're made in Mexico. But yeah, this Toyota, they're not selling these BZ4Xs, and I don't blame people for not buying them, because I don't like these vehicles at all. Let's look at this.
Well, they're ugly to start with.
That's what I was going to say. They're ugly, and the name is ridiculous. BZ4. Who named it that?
It's like because sometimes internally you'll have like code names for certain vehicles that the public don't know about, or they'll have like a chassis code. It's almost like they had a chassis code and then just couldn't come up with a name to call it, and they just left it at that.
I don't know. Maybe here on Wikipedia, they're saying BZ stands for Beyond Zero Emissions, representing the nature of all battery electric vehicle by going beyond zero emissions. Okay. Anyway,
less than zero.
And 4 stands for the equivalent size Toyota RAV4, and X describes it as a compact crossover. This vehicle, let's look at it. It only looks good in black because then you don't get to see this black
hide
thing
all
in
the
the
crap.
front,
Yeah.
and that looks ridiculous. They're applying, they're giving you massive incentives to get this car. There's 16,000 lease cash for a new one, and if you're gonna get the 0% APR if you're gonna buy one for 72 months. Now when you're getting 0% APR, they can't give these things away.
Yeah, they're trying everything they can to give them away.
I'll go to this Toyota dealership to get parts because I got 2 Camrys to take care of. I'll go in there to get parts, and they got the same BZ4X in the showroom for like forever. It looks fine on the inside, just the outside is atrocious.
Yeah.
And I remember they had a Camry in the showroom for one day, and I came back, that thing was gone.
Oh yeah.
They saw that thing in 1 second.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Camrys sell. Is that I think the best selling car in America still?
I believe, yeah, I think it is the best selling sedan in America. And because I would drive by, I was like, let me go look at it. And then I got to look at it because they had some on the lot. And then I would drive by the next day, they would be gone. So then I went in there to get parts, and they had one on the showroom floor. I was like, oh, let me get a video of it. So I made a short video about it for YouTube. And I went back the next day to get my part that they ordered. I see somebody was buying it. I saw them get it in there. I was like, man, they got it.
Yeah, the buyer confidence just is not high with full electric vehicles, and it's, I think, continuing to dwindle, especially when we see like what we just saw with Jeep. Those being recalls for battery fires out of randomly as they're parked. Teslas have their issues. Yeah,
But
I think it's a smart move. Toyota's reacting to the market right now.
That's true, but I think it's also a little bit more to that. This Toyota BZ4X, the range on it is terrible. It's like it's only like 200 something miles of range.
Try and fix that light.
And it looks atrocious. It's got a terrible name. It's way overpriced. It's like, how much is this thing? It's like over $40,000, and you can get a Tesla Model Y, which I think is their competition for the most part. You can get this in like the 30s, and it's got way better range. This one has 337 miles of range. The Toyota is like, I think it's 220 or 230. And this is not competitive. How is Toyota going to make the very best plug-in hybrid? Just got the record for miles per gallon in the Guinness Book of World Records, the guy who hypermiled it, and they can't make a competitive electric vehicle. It doesn't make sense to me.
They're probably tiptoeing their way into it. It would be my guess. There's things you have to do to make them have that longer range, right? Bigger batteries, and that's just for one to start with. There's a handful of things. So maybe they're just starting small and deciding to go up, or realizing that people with EVs just don't drive that far, so they don't need that kind of range. I'm not sure what they've done for research, but
no, they don't understand. I don't think they understand. I don't think they get it. They need to hire me back. Yeah. This is what I would do if I was in charge of this BZ4X. Number one, I'd name it something normal. Like, why don't they just name it the freaking Corolla EV? Like, glom off the Corolla or the Camry. Just be like, look, this is the Camry EV.
Or the
done.
Or the RAV4.
Just the RAV4. Done.
Yeah.
All right, no, it's not some ridiculous freaking acronym name. I don't like the name. I don't know why they have those panels, those black panels on it. It looks ridiculous. Apparently it's not as aerodynamic as it could be. The battery is not as big as it should be. It's just a big old mistake on 4 wheels. They got to do better than that. Like, if they want to, they know that this is their competition, this Model Y. And when you come up to your competition and you cost more and you get less range and you look ridiculous, This is just a recipe for not selling anything.
Right.
I don't know what they're even thinking.
It ain't for me, that's for sure.
If it were me, and you know what, they're not even competition for the all right, you guys, I'm gonna get an electric vehicle. This is gonna be it. Watch this. It's the new Cybertruck. I got my eye on it.
Oh man.
I'm gonna get my first EV. This guy, he's selling it for only $3,000. Can you believe
That's
that?
good. Oh man.
I'm gonna get this one.
That's a beast. MJ, this reminds me, I have some breaking news.
What's that?
You're never gonna believe it. Are you sitting down?
Yeah.
I'm a proud owner of an EV.
Really? What did you get?
Probably not what you think.
What you
I bought a Segway scooter and I fucking love it. Oops, can't swear here. I love it.
What kind of scooter?
A Segway scooter.
A Segway scooter. What
Yeah,
is
you know
that?
the Segways, right? Like the company, anyways. They have like those
Is that
stand-up
the one
two-wheel
you
things.
like ride on it and it
Yeah,
has
but
like
they make,
a handle on the front?
yeah, but they make actual like two-wheel scooters, right? Like the push scooters.
Yeah.
So I bought one of those for the race last weekend. So that way, when you were going between pits and staging lanes, I don't have to walk all the time. I bought one used. I thought this will be great. Yep, boom, there you go.
Which
Like
one
that
did you
9-bot,
get?
the Segway 9-bot. That's it.
The 9-bot.
Yeah. So the
How
one that
much
looks
it
like
cost?
I bought it used for $200. The guy that I bought it from bought it new last year for $800.
Oh.
It goes like 18 miles an hour. It's got a 28-mile range. And I thought, I'll just use it this weekend and I'll just sell it and get my money back. And
Yeah.
then I brought it into work with me and I charged the battery up. And then I went and like got lunch with it just to kind of get used to riding it around. And I had an absolute blast. I'm going to keep it.
Really? So
Yeah,
there's no handle on it?
Yeah, and it's so much fun. So like go down to like one of those ones in the middle, that middle row. Where's your mouse at? Any of those ones in the middle that say 9-bot. Go down right there. Right there. Yeah, click that guy. That's what it is. Yeah, that's what it is. Mine's got a bigger battery thing on it, but yeah.
Okay.
You give a little push, it's got a little thumb button. That's your accelerator. And dude, the thing was an absolute blast. It's so much better than the gasoline alternative. It's got better range. It doesn't stink. I had so much fun.
All right. So you drove it back and forth between the race and
that's what I got it for. But now I just keep it at work. So I go to lunch at work or need to go grab something quick in town. It's a small town that we live in. Then I can just do whatever. I can it folds in half, so I can just carry it back into work and set it by my desk underneath and charge it back up.
Oh,
it's the coolest little thing.
Oh, maybe I should get one of those. I don't know what I would do with it.
Right. I was told this is the gateway drug into an EV car, but I don't think they're right there because I have no interest in that still.
Just don't let it get wet. It's like a gremlin.
Oh, I'm sure.
You can't let it eat after midnight, and you can't let it get wet.
Yeah.
All right, let's go to the last story of the day. Then we got we got a used truck of the week.
Sure.
Since Dana's back, we had to do a truck this week.
All right.
All right, so here we go. GM Defense. Did you know that GM Defense made vehicles? And this is they make a bulletproof Chevy Suburban for the U.S. government, and it is ready to go. Look at this thing, Dane.
Yeah, it's pretty cool.
Well, let's hear about it. This is the HD. So this is from gmauthority.com if you want to see the whole article. Let's see. The HD variant of the Chevy Suburban hasn't been available to the public for over a decade. The GM Defense Division has an HD SUV in the works based heavily on the Chevy Suburban. And it's an armored vehicle with a heavy-duty chassis built to support missions requiring protected mobility. So that is they have the chassis and suspension upgraded for performance and higher payload. And this is what is going to be protecting government officials. Look at this. It's got a 360 amp alternator. Good Lord.
Yeah, that's a lot.
I got heated leather seats. I wish I could buy this, but it's not available. It's got the 6.2 liter V8 and the 6 liter turbo diesel Duramax.
Nice.
All right. Oh, it's got lots of horsepower.
Mm-hmm.
The GM Defense version of the Silverado of the Suburban. Every HD SUV comes standard with 4-wheel drive. But the HD SUV is the result of a contract awarded to GM Defense by the U.S. State Department in 2023 with a $300 million ceiling. That's a lot of potatoes.
Mm-hmm.
And this final assembly is at the Concord, North Carolina facility. So they make these in North Carolina. Oh, man, I hope they don't get in a hurricane.
Right.
Isn't that where the hurricane is?
Yeah, it hit them pretty hard. Yeah.
All right. So it looks like they also make a Chevy Colorado version of
That'd be
this.
cool.
Oh, man, that's baller.
Yeah, that's cool.
That's baller status. So, yeah, this is why I think, when we're always criticizing GM for getting into electric vehicles and, doing what the government wants. I
Mhm.
mean, they have contracts with the government that they have to keep that going. I mean, if GM was just to say, look, we're not making electric cars, what are you going to do about it? They'd be like, all right, well, no $300 million contract for your, we're going to go give that to Ford.
Yeah,
So,
and of course they don't go with the EV route. The government doesn't want the EVs. They want the one with the biggest V8 that they make.
that's a good point, Dave.
Yeah. So you got to work both angles.
Yeah, but yeah, see, also I wanted to show you the what's it called? The electric Equinox.
Oh, okay.
But since we were talking about cars that were better than the BZ4X.
Yeah, this is one.
So yeah, I think the Chevy Equinox EV is better than the Toyota EV too.
Yep.
It's got a better range, and it has a normal cost. So
Yeah, it looks normal. It's the best looking one on all of them.
yeah, it looks good.
Mhm.
So yeah, I mean, you don't have to get an EV. I don't think people should be forced to get them, but if you want them, they should be available. I mean, we can
Yep.
share the road with everybody.
Exactly.
So there we go. Chevy Equinox. It's like a lot of these got a lot of options. It's supposed to start at 30 something thousand. Everybody's selling it at 40,000 something.
Mm-hmm.
But they get discounts, so that comes down. But yeah, the range is over 300, so
That's pretty good.
that does look pretty good actually.
Yeah, it's not bad at all.
Doesn't look ridiculous. And they named it something normal. Equinox EV. Toyota. Why would you just name it RAV4 EV?
Yeah,
And be
it's
done with it.
so much easier, so much simpler. People know what it is then.
I know, right?
Mhm.
But yeah, they don't want to listen to me.
No.
But they're, I don't know, Toyota makes, sometimes I feel like 95% of everything they do is like perfect and they get it perfectly right. But then once in a while, they get all excited about hydrogen cars, or did they make an EV that nobody likes? Like that thing didn't sell. That thing is so like they sell the whole year. They sold less than what the Toyota or for the Tesla Model Y sells in a month.
Mm-hmm.
This is such a waste of time, but I think they'll get it together eventually.
Yeah, they will. They're experimenting a little bit probably, and it sounds like they're pulling back too. They're reducing how much they were going to do.
Yeah, so they'll get it together. But let's go to the last story of the day. Let me show you the used truck of the week. Dave, I want to see if you agree with this pick. Maybe my automotive nerd research didn't work. Hold on, where is it? Having technical difficulties here, people.
All right, keep it together.
All right, here we go. You see it?
Yep. All right.
There we go. 2013 Chevy Silverado 1500. Now, I believe, correct me if I'm wrong, Dane, this is the 6.2 liter engine, but it's in a 1500.
Yeah.
And I believe this one does not have active fuel. Was it displacement on demand?
I don't remember if those did or not. Some of them, I thought all the 6.2s did. Maybe they didn't.
I did some automotive nerd research, and it looked like the 2013 was the last 6.2 without displacement on demand.
Nice.
So, I mean, verify that for yourself if you're going to buy this. You don't have to buy this one. I don't even know these people, but I just want to look at it.
Yeah, it looks like it's in decent shape. It had lower miles, right? It was like 100,000 miles I saw.
Yeah.
But there's something suspect going on here. Can you see it?
What is it? Let me see. Is it rust somewhere?
No,
Which picture? Which picture?
I'm surprised it's not showing. I'm guessing there's rust somewhere as being hidden because it is in New York. Let's be honest. They got really salty roads over the wintertime.
Yeah.
But
What's wrong
so to get the 6.2 liter, it needs to be the LTZ trim. This doesn't have the LTZ trim, which is surprising. It has the LTZ grill, but no leather, no nothing. It's usually the only way you're going to get these things. And then the wheels are off of a work truck. Those are steel work truck wheels. Like, what's going on
work
here?
truck wheels.
Yeah, there's some suspect going on here.
So you don't think it's a 6.2?
I don't know. I wonder if they clicked the wrong button when they were setting this thing up. I'm suspect of a few things here.
Uh-oh. Dane got the good eye for the Silverado trucks.
It's a super clean looking truck, but I would be asking a lot of questions when I talk to these people if you were interested in buying said thing.
Yeah, it does have the work truck wheels.
Yep.
Yep,
and that's why if you're looking for a vehicle, you should contact me to help you out with that.
There you go. Is it Dane only charges 6-pack of beer.
Yeah, sometimes. Sometimes
but,
it's 2.
Dane, you know what I like about these trucks? The one I had, it had the extended cab, but it had like the clamshell type doors.
Yep.
And this one has the actual door.
Yep.
I noticed there was some squeaks with the one with the clamshell door. Like I could feel it moving around sometime. Well, not moving, but just squeaking a little bit.
Yeah, I just sold this exact same truck that I had owned personally for the last 5 years.
Yeah.
Mine was a couple of years older, but still same body and everything. Mine had the 5.3 engine, the all aluminum 5.3, which is a little rare, but awesome truck. Loved having the big back seat. I mostly kept it up all the time and just hauled stuff back there. But yeah, a great daily driver.
I do like these vehicles. All right. Well, Dane says to make sure that there's a 6.2 liter engine in there.
And if it's not, that's okay. It's still going to be a good truck.
Yeah, but it's got the displacement on demand now.
You can just turn that off. We talked about how to delete that.
I don't know if that's legal, Dane.
It depends on your state.
I don't know. I don't think that's. The EPA might come to your house and get you.
Yeah, well.
All right. Well, look, I'm on the. Let me show you where I'm at. I'm on the dealership website. Let's bring that up. The dealership website has it as a 6.2 also.
Interesting.
But I'm not seeing the Carfax. So
it might be a rare option, but yeah, usually the LT would have came with aluminum wheels. It's possible that it was that engine was offered in a lower trim package. It'd be a really rare option for said thing. Usually only the LTZs got the 6.2. But I got questions. Those wheels didn't come from the factory.
Yeah.
The grill is an LTZ grill, but yeah, things have been moved around on this truck. It looks nice, but I would be asking a lot of questions.
We got a lot of questions for you, whoever's selling this truck.
Yeah, it's like the LT grill wouldn't have been painted. Yeah, the LT grill wouldn't have been painted. It wouldn't have had the chrome inserts.
Oh. No. See, that's why I would call you the Silverado expert, Dane. I got to run it by you. I do like I love the way these doors are, though.
Yeah, they're nice. They're super simple interiors, very comfortable. Yeah, there's not a lot that really goes wrong with these trucks. They're very simple.
All right. So, yeah, the final point of today is don't buy. It's over for buying vehicles without looking at the Carfax. It's just over. And if you go into this dealership and they are not willing to purchase the Carfax for you to look at, don't buy it. Because Dane, you weren't here, but I did a story about it was a whole bunch of dealerships. I think about 5 got indicted for selling cars with odometer fraud. Yeah, odometer fraud is back, and it is here to attack you.
Yeah.
Only defense is checking the Carfax. If you can't check the Carfax, don't buy it. Make them buy the Carfax. They refuse to buy it, be like, all right, I ain't buying it. Because most used car places will have the Carfax on their website. This one doesn't. So what they do, Dane, you probably know this, is they'll take out the whole cluster, the whole instrument cluster. They'll take it out. They'll buy another instrument cluster with lower miles and put that in there.
Yep.
Or they'll that's an old trick. But what they do now also is there are tools that you could buy. When you do that, you're supposed to put the right miles on the new cluster, right?
Right.
But they use that equipment, and then they take the mile. They just put the new miles in there. Like if it really has 200,000 miles, they'll just type in the equipment 130,000 miles.
Yeah.
And it'll just be there. And then if you look on the Carfax, you can see, okay, well, the last time it was registered, it had, let's say, 190,000 miles. And then you get in there and it says 130,000 miles. And you're like, what the frick's going on here?
Yeah, like this ain't right. So yeah, proceed with caution. And
it was such a shame because they had this lady. She bought this car for like $6,000, it's like $7,000, and they were like, "Yeah, it's got 130,000." And then in real life, it had 200,000 miles.
Jeez. Yeah, I'd be upset.
They rip you off, and it was a buy here, pay here place. Don't ever go to buy here, pay here. Just walk away from there,
no matter what,
because they are the scummiest of all scumbags at those places. Just don't even look at them, because
you're gonna lose so much money at those places. It's crazy.
Yeah, like what they do is they will buy a car, and like they'll get a trade-in. Like let's say they paid $2,000 for a trade-in. What they'll do is they'll put that car up for sale. They'll make the price of it way more than it should be, and then they'll be like, "Look, it's buy here, pay here. We don't run your credit, but you got to give us a $2,000 down payment." So whatever you're giving them as a down payment is what they actually paid for the car, approximately. So then every time you make a weekly or monthly payment, that's just extra money for them. But what they do is, like let's say you miss a payment, they'll repo the car. And they'll just take the car back, because the title never changed hands. It's still their title. So they'll just take back the car and they'll sell it to the next person, sell it to the next person for another $2,000 down payment. And they just keep doing that. They just keep doing that over and over and over again, getting more and more down payments, and ripping more and more people off. And now your money's gone, and it's a big old scam.
Yep, and they won't let, even if you wanted to buy a vehicle in cash, they won't let you do it.
No, they're renting vehicles.
That's exactly what they're doing. And then they make the payment really cheap, but then it's over many, many, many years. So after, let's say you do pay one off in full, you bought a vehicle for $7,000. By the time you're done making those payments, you usually paid like $15,000, all said and done, because they're charging you a crap ton of interest on top of it.
No.
Yeah, it's bad news all the way around. Stay away.
So we're not saying that this website dealership is a buy here, pay here place. We're just saying in general, don't ever go there. Like you remember on The Lion King where he told Simba, he's like, "Look, that's the darkness land. Don't ever go there. That's buy here, pay here."
Yeah, don't go.
Yeah. So that's what we got for you today. Dane is back from hunting. Hopefully he'll be back next Sunday or maybe Thursday. We'll see what happens. Dane's very busy.
Dane has a lot of stuff going on.
That's right. Well, I got time because I got stuff going on too, but
I got more stuff I can bring for you too. Well, I shouldn't say more stuff. I got a little bit of news. Maybe we'll bring it in here. We'll see. I just made another purchase.
You bought another What did you buy?
Well, it's not an EV. It's
this time.
It's a 2017 Corvette.
You bought a 2017 Corvette
with fire damage.
With fire damage? What?
So this car has got like $200,000 worth of work done to it, into the engine. It's got a giant pro charger on it. It made like 1,400 wheel horsepower.
Yeah.
It was methanol injected. and it had a methanol backfire, which caused a fire. And
Uh-oh.
so the hood, the passenger side fender, the passenger side door, and the glass has melted and is burned to the ground. But the chassis is good. Wheels and tires are good. It's got like aftermarket suspension on it. It's got giant coolers to help keep it cool. The guy's got a ton of money in this thing. It's got the rear diff has got like some $5,000 rear diff put into the transaxle. So I am buying this car solely for the engine that I think I'm going to put in my 66 Nova that I've been sitting on for a while on a build.
Whoa.
And I will be slowly pulling this car apart and selling pieces and parts off of it to try and pay for this engine. So yeah, it looks just like that, except it's black.
Why don't you just fix it and have a Corvette?
It's too far gone.
The body's messed up?
Yeah, from the fire. Here, let me see if I can pull it up quick and you can see it on my phone. Let's see. So like, let's see how this looks. There's some of the fire damage. See how melted that sucker is?
Yeah. Oh, I see.
Yeah, it's not good.
Okay.
Let's see. There's like the corner of the glass and stuff by the driver door.
So you bought it for the engine?
Yeah, just bought it for the engine. It's got a huge engine. So
how you know the engine's not damaged?
I don't, but I know what. I've looked at all the receipts and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
This guy's got like 30 grand into this thing. So worst case scenario, it's got some moisture in it from when the fire was put out. But you gotta kind of go through it anyway. So I'll pull the heads off, take a look at it. Maybe the pistons rod's gonna come out and re-sleeve the cylinder or re-hone the cylinders and new rings and stuff. But it shouldn't be terrible. And then we'll go from there. But yeah, the motor's got a crank from the 6.6 liter gas engine, so it's stroked out to like 416 cubic inches. It's got a huge like 640 some odd lift cam. It should make just over 600 horsepower naturally aspirated. And then if you start putting boost to it, possibilities are nearly endless. So
oh boy.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, have fun. So you're gonna put that on your Instagram?
Yeah, I'll put it on there so guys can follow along.
So Dayton, what's your Instagram in case people want to follow you?
At Bremer Fabrication.
Bremer Fabrication.
Yeah, BREMER Fabrication.
Oh man, aren't we supposed to have this at the bottom?
Hey,
where are the things at? Is it supposed to have our name at the bottom of the picture?
Oh, you're driving this bus.
I don't know what's going on. I think they just started charging me more for StreamYard too.
Oh man, they took our names.
They increased the price for like $40 a month, and it was $25.
That's crazy.
It's inflation. It's Kamala Harris' fault.
Yeah, I blame Biden and that crazy lady.
It's Biden and them. All right, well, that's what we got for you today. We'll be back at some point. Thank you for tuning in, and have a good one.
See you guys.